This is Sports Drive.
Welcome back to Sports Drive. Once again, I'm your host, Preston Moore. I mentioned earlier in the show we would talk a little bit of WT volleyball. The Lady Buffs obviously coming off of some great seasons, in large part due to star Torrey Miller, all-time kills leader in the program, who is coming back to the team now next year after graduating as an assistant coach now next year. Joining me now to talk about that is Torrey Miller herself, or Coach Miller now. Coach Miller, how are you doing today?
I'm great. I'm grateful to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I'm excited to talk a little bit of Lady Buff volleyball with you. You've been with the program, obviously, for the last couple of years. I literally don't have time to list off all of your accolades with the program. If anybody doesn't know, Torrey Miller, go up to her profile page on GoBuffsGo.com. The list of accolades that they have listed for you is taking up more than my entire computer screen right now. So safe to say... You've lived and breathed Lady Buff volleyball, as Coach Harry said about the hire. Talk to me a little bit about what you're excited about staying with the program, but in a new role now.
Yeah, I mean, Lady Buff volleyball is something that's just so special. And if you've been a part of it, you understand why it's so special. And if you haven't been a part of it, you get to watch it be so special. And it's just amazing that I get to stick around. Like, everyone's dream is to not ever leave their college program that makes them feel so warm and fuzzy inside, like, obviously. And so I'm just so grateful to be able to stick around. And a lot of the girls that are on the team right now are girls that I played with for my entire career, or at least 2 or 3 years. And so it's just home. And I'm really grateful that for my first coaching job that I get to learn and grow in a place that I'm so familiar with and so comfortable in, even though things are different than they will ever have been when I was a player. I'm grateful for the community. The community will never change. And so that's something that I can find peace in. And even though this is kind of a scary jump for me, like, I still get to go and be in a place that's so special to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, you mentioned something interesting that I was going to ask about, with most of the team being your former teammates now, girls that you've played with, not only played with, but being that you've been on the team for a while, you've been able to kind of lead them on the team, you know, in your years, especially in these last couple of years as you've been with the team. So when it comes to that aspect of it, how much, to me, if I'm thinking about going from player to coach, right, I can't quite think of a better way to do it than you're doing it right now. Having been extremely prolific as a player with this program, somewhere that you know, very comfortable with, like you mentioned, but coaching now players who you kind of were, I would imagine, maybe somewhat of an on-the-court coach for the last couple of years as well, being a leader on the team.
Yeah, it's made the transition super easy and smooth. And it was hard work whenever I was a player to be a leader. And that doesn't mean it's going to change now that I'm a coach. I still expect the girls to have a different respect for me than they would if I was a player. But in turn, I have to be respectable as a coach. And I don't expect that to just happen overnight for all of these girls, especially the girls that I've played with for 4 years. Like, we were more than just teammates. We were friends, and we did things together. Like, yeah, like, we took trips on the weekends together, and, like, we were friends. And so I'm not expecting them to just automatically buy into me being all of a sudden authority for them. Like, that's weird already to even say. Yeah. But so far it's been super easy, and the girls have had no problem just being like, all right, this is where we draw the boundaries now. We don't hang out outside of here. And you know, and that's okay. And I respect it. And so it's been pretty smooth, and I'm excited that I already know the girls and kind of how they tick. And I don't have to figure out what's the best way to coach them, because I kind of already dabbled in that whenever I was a player. So
yeah, absolutely. That's definitely a benefit of your position. When it comes now to obviously talking about, Coach Potts, right, left the program, is going to be head coach at Grand Canyon University. We're very excited for her and all the things that she's going to go on to do at that Division I level. But now Brittany Harry has come in as a new coach The buzz around her has been absolutely spectacular. I've yet to meet her in person, but I haven't heard a single bad thing about her based on everyone who has met her in person, based on everyone who was a part of the hiring process for her. What do you think is going to be like working under Coach Harry now in her first year with the program?
You know, she was a really big reason why I chose to stay here and coach. I never saw myself coaching whenever I was in school, but she offers a really safe space to learn and grow, which is obviously important for the athletes, but I've never thought about the fact that it's important for me too, as someone who never wanted to coach, but now is kind of called to this position and like really excited about it, but also like has no knowledge because I didn't expect it.
Right.
But she's just been so transparent about there's going to be things that are harder than you think. And even though you think you're comfortable, things are going to be uncomfortable in a good way. And I've already made a few rookie mistakes and she's just been like, you know what, you're learning. And so I'm just really grateful to know that I am in a safe place to make mistakes and grow through this process, and she's the whole reason for it. She's just given so much grace while also holding a standard, and that's a really hard thing to balance, but she does it really well.
Absolutely. Well, one last question for you, Torrey, before we let you go. Thanks for coming on and spending your time with us. But before we let you go, I wanted to ask you, obviously, as you know, as a player, you guys have been fairly successful, I would say, especially over the course of the last 2 years. 2 national championship appearances in a row, 1 national championship win. What's it going to take to get back there for the 3rd time?
It's just going to take the girls believing in themselves. Everything that we did over the past 5 years was based on pure grit and belief that if we work together, that nothing could stand against us. And so these girls are bought in. They don't have any reason to not be bought into what we have because they've been here and they understand what it is. And so the volleyball plays itself whenever you love each other and you believe in yourself. And so I think it just takes a whole lot of belief.
Absolutely. Well, we're very excited for the season and excited for you transitioning into this new role as assistant coach. Excited to see what you do from the sidelines. Sad to see you go from the court, but obviously excited to have you back on the sidelines at the box this fall. Torrey, once again, or Coach Miller, thanks for joining the show. We really appreciate you taking the time once again, and we're excited for the season.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. We'll be right back with more Sports Drive right after this break.